Question 7. Well, expanding means getting rid of the brackets, so you've got to do 6 multiplied by the 4 and 6 multiplied by the minus 3y. So 6 4s are 24, get the sign right, it's a minus, 6 3s are 18, so 18y, 24 minus 18y. Now factorising is the opposite process, that's putting the brackets back in. So you look at each term and see what's the highest, the biggest factors you can take out. So we've got an e squared, which is e times e, and a 4e, which is obviously 4 times e. So what's the biggest common factor? Well, it's e. So we can take an e outside the bracket and open a bracket. E times what gives us e squared? Well, that's another e. E times e is e squared. Get the sign right, it's a plus. E times what gives us 4e? Well, e times 4 gives us 4e. And you can always check one of these factorisings by just doing the reverse process. If you expand this now, e times e is e squared, plus, and then e times 4 is 4e. Right, part C. So we've got to make decisions to instruct ourselves really to do things to both sides in order to end up with x being the subject, just x equaling something. Now a little tip, just to keep things simpler and really have as many positives as you can, always aim to have your x's on the side which is the greatest number of x's to start with. So on this occasion that's the left. So our goal is going to be to get all our x's on the left and all our normal numbers on the right. So let's start off with the x's. How do we undo this plus 2x? Well, we choose to minus 2x from both sides. So on the left hand side, 7x take away 2x is 5x, and the 8 just comes straight down because at the moment we're only looking at the x's. On the right hand side, 2x minus 2x is 0, so that's eliminated that 2x, so we're just left with the minus 3 on the right. So nearly there, we've got all our x's on the left. We now need to get all our normal numbers on the right, so we need to undo this plus 8, so we choose to take away 8 from both sides, so that eliminates this plus 8, just leaving us with the 5x on the left, and following this instruction on the right, minus 3 minus another 8 is minus 11. So 5x equals minus 11. How do we undo this timesing by 5? We divide by 5, so x equals minus 11 over 5. This top-heavy fraction would give you 2 full marks, but if you want to tidy it up to be minus 2.2, that's fine. Now, part D, expand and simplify. So expanding is getting rid of the brackets, and simplifying is gathering like terms. So let's start off with this first term here and multiply that by both terms in the second bracket. So y times y is y squared, y times minus 2 is minus 2y. We then move on to the plus 10 and multiply that by both terms in the second bracket. 10 times y is plus 10y, 10 times minus 2 is minus 20. So we have done the first bit, we've expanded. That would give us 1 mark. We now need to simplify, so we gather together like terms. Well, this is the only y squared, so he stays where he is. This is the only normal number, that stays where it is. The only like term we have is y's. We've got minus 2y plus 10y, and the net effect of those two is plus 8y. Now, part E, factorize fully this. So, factorizing we know is popping the brackets in. This fully is significant. That tells us that we're not just going to be taking one thing outside the bracket. There will be more than one thing. So we just need to be aware of the fact we're going to have more than one thing in front of the bracket. So work your way along. Start with the normal numbers. What's the highest common factor of 20 and 16? That's 4. What's the highest common factor of e to the power of 5 and e squared? Well, that's e squared. What's the highest common factor of f squared and f? Well, that's f. So that goes outside the bracket. Open up the bracket, and you've now got to say to yourself 4e squared f times what gives you this first term. So we need a 5 to get 4 5s are 20. We need an e cubed to get e squared times e cubed is e to the power of 5. And we need an f to give us f times f is f squared. Get the sign right, that's a minus. And now we need a 16, we've got a 4. So 4 watts of 16, that's 4. We've already got our e squared, we've already got our f. So that's the end of it, we just close the bracket. And as always with factorising, you can double check your number. Your answer, this times this, does it give us this first term? Yes it does. And this times this, does it give us our second term? Yes it does.